So what's up guys, I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another zombies video where today we have a preview for issue 4 of our Call of Duty Zombies comics. As always, if you enjoyed the video, thank you all so much for the support on the channel. Make sure you leave a like rating, make sure you are subscribed for more zombies videos, and of course, let's get straight into it. Here we go. So, as I said, a preview for the 4th issue of our Call of Duty Zombies comics has been released. The actual release date for the whole of this comic is April the 19th, so just a week or two away from us now. But this just gives you a good idea and a good perspective of what this comic is going to be about. Now, before we get into it, let me just remind you guys of what we've seen previously so we can know what it's going to lead on to. So, in the 3rd issue, as we know, our transit crew headed over to Zero Base with the element they collected from Broken Arrow, where Richtofen told them to put this element in a machine. On their discoveries at Zero Base, they found Sophia, they found the Golden Rod, Ted, one of the elemental staffs, the Vril Sphere, all this junk chucked in a room. But eventually, towards the end, they put this element inside of a machine, they sat down on these chairs, it took their blood, and then that's where the comic ended. We don't know what happened to our characters, but the final page was this. And that was a big cliffhanger that we were left on for issue 3. Now, as I've explained in a video before, I believe Zero Base is this, what we see in the Nuketown loading screen, which seems to be underwater. I believe this area could potentially be Zero Base, and that's because it links into a cipher what we saw in Gorod Karovi, where it says, finally the lab is almost complete. Security measures have been put in place, so the chances of detection by the Americans is very unlikely. We have also several agents embedded with the staff as insurance. We will keep the individuals on status, on ice to speak, and continue the specimen rotation once we finish drawing more power from the drill. Oh, I almost forgot, the sequencing for the current blood samples is as follows: SSMJABR, which is the initials for our transit crew. Samuel Stuhlinger, Malton Johnson, Abigail, I think her last name's Brighton, and then Russman. As you can see, the cipher talks about the staff, talks about the individuals in status or on ice to speak, and it talks about specimen rotation. And as we see at the end of issue 3, our characters have their blood taken, they are put on status, our characters are part, or are just a few of the specimens that are being put on rotation by this group. And at the end of the cipher, it says specimen rotation will continue once more power is finished being drawn from the drill. And we're seeing the Nuketown loading screen, we have power being drawn from this drill. So there is clearly a connection here. Now that is what we learned from issue 3. Let's get on to issue 4, where the bio reads, Malton, Misty, Russman and Stuhlinger think they found a moment's peace, but the approaching horde of zombies is about to destroy that. Faced with the decision of fight or flight, the crew argues and splits up. When Maxis's emergency security measures are activated, will it be every man for himself? Wait, did this just assume Misty's gender? Anyway, so looking at the preview, first off we have Stuhlinger looking out of the window into the same background that we see at the end of issue 3, and he says, impossible. The voice inside of his head, which we could assume is Richtofen talking, says, after all that you've seen, this is impossible? Stuhlinger says, you can talk to me here? We can talk to you anytime, Stuhlinger, you just don't listen, like when I told you to back up. What? Misty, I would recommend the big Z's are coming, which means we're leaving. You don't know what the atmospheric conditions are outside. That's a completely unknown variable. We could suffocate or worse. Or worse is certainly always an option. My friend says it's okay. Did I? Besides, they're coming. You, we, it's fine. It's air. Sweet, breathable air. We're alive, Malton. Let's keep it that way. Russman is definitely too old for this. Shit. This way, we need to see what else is around here. It would be the best to run now, science later. Stuhlinger, come on. I concur, you would do well to stay ahead of them. I'm trying. I am. Wow. There we are, another cliffhanger for the preview, which the full version will be coming out in just over a week. But still, this is interesting. So when our characters were put on status in Zero Base, and what I can only assume is what we see in the Nuketown loading screen, when they were put on those chairs on status, it looks like they were sent to another place. But this place looks like it's maybe in their heads. When their blood was taken, they were put to sleep, and maybe were they sent to this place? We really don't know, because we see Stuhlinger looking out of the window and says impossible. As you see, The world outside is fixed. We had the 3 rockets that hit the Earth from the moon, and they destroyed absolutely everything. We see all throughout Transit, die, rise, buried. The world is totally destroyed. The floor is, cracked with lava. Trees are not living on Earth anymore. But when Stuhlinger looks out of this window, he sees life. He says this is impossible. The world looks fixed. These characters think they have fixed the world. Richtofen says to Stuhlinger, after all that you've seen, you think this is impossible? Stuhlinger says you can talk to me here, and the characters really don't know what they're doing. They seem confused. They don't know where they are, they don't know why they're here. As we see, they don't know if the air outside is breathable, but because of the zombies coming at them once again, they have to escape. They start running, and right at the very end, Stuhlinger looks over the cliff and says, wow, clearly he sees something. What that is, I guess we're just gonna have to wait. But these comics lately, especially this one and the last one, have got really interesting to read, so I can't wait to bring you guys more information about this. Anyways, that's all we have for this video. Hopefully you have all enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts about these down in the comments section below. I love you guys, and of course I will see you in the next video. Make sure you leave your comments. As always, I try and reply to as many of you guys as I can. Thank you for watching, and peace out.